Welcome to another episode of Sneaks, Rhymes, and Life. I am your host, Lionel McDonald. So we are going to chop it up for a bit. It's been a minute. Haven't talked since one of the very last episodes, and I recorded that a little bit ago. I think this is season 5, episode 60. The last one we kind of talked about was July sneakers before we got into July. So it's been a couple weeks. A lot has happened. A lot is going on. World is crazy busy. We had All Star Weekend for MLB. We had free agency start for the NBA. Damian Lillard's actually going back to Portland after getting separating from Milwaukee, and looks like Giannis is staying, and Bradley Beal is now with the Clippers, and KD is once again on the move. So Phoenix is totally blown up now, but a lot has happened. A lot of fun things, and again, we were talking sneakers the last time in July, and we have the Aquas coming out. We have the Rare Air. The Rare Air Jordan 4, which may be the best Rare Air of the whole bunch. Maybe that and the 11. I think those are definitely the top two. As the 3 and the 1 definitely did not take off. And then we had the Caitlin Clark Kobe 5 PE that launched right at the end of June, and then in July we have the WNBA. Perfect timing. WNBA All Star Weekend is when it released. So we're going to get into the other big release this week, and I kind of just alluded to it. It is the Aqua 8. So Aqua 8, and I think I have it right here. This is not the one that's launching today. Today is Saturday the 19th of July, excuse me, as we're, in the midst of summer. Toronto, it's been crazy. 40-degree or 100 plus Fahrenheit for those in America that go by Fahrenheit. That temperature really tapered off on Thursday. We had crazy winds, crazy rain for a short period of time, but that kind of cooled things off. And now we're at a more comfortable temperature. We're now in the mid 70s, late eight or hot or low 80s. So, we're making it happen. But this is a shoe that launched today. So this originally launched, this is the Aqua 8, originally launched 1993. This is the model of the Jordan. So number 8, he wore this as the 8th shoe. This is the 3rd shoe of the three-peat. This shoe, called the Aqua, has a combination of obviously black, aqua blue, and purple that kind of really reflects the fashion trends of the 1990s, particularly the early 90s. This is when, myself, I was listening to, I was still listening to Gangstar, Mama Said Knock You Out. And then obviously 1993, I 100% think about 36 Chambers, Midnight Marauders, entered the stage by Black Moon. Our previous, obviously, Wu-Tang Clan and Tribe Called Quest. We got some De La Soul in there. And this was, if you can believe, we just celebrated 30 years of hip hop, and that was like the 20th year. It's unbelievable how far we've come in such a time. It was one of my favorite times. This is kind of my love affair for not only hip hop but sneakers. Really took off in 93 into 94, and then ultimately in 95. I was wearing diamond turf trainers at the University of Windsor when I was playing ball. But going back to these Aquas, this originally debuted during All-Star Weekend, which is around Jordan's birthday, the 1993 All-Star Game. Now, if you say, why this color of all colors? If you go back in history, special jersey that the East wore was a blue jersey, and it matches the Aquas absolutely perfectly. So this particular pair is actually the 2007 pair, back in the day when I was a manager at Foot Locker, this is the shoe that I was wearing, and I was so happy to get it. It's the first release. It also, released in 2015, and then, and again, it squeezed out one more time. But here we are in 2015. The Aqua 8 is back. So unique about the Aqua 8 is that this shoe definitely looks different than, and the one I'm holding is the 2007. The current one that came out today looks significantly different. I remember even, I think it probably would have been 2015. We had actually no, that was the this particular pair. We had Kanye, and this is like old Kanye that we truly love. This is college dropout, going to late registration, ultimately culminating with graduation. Kanye, like the soon to be Adidas icon, Kanye, Grammy award winning Kanye, super producer Kanye. He was wearing this on 106 in Park, so that was a special time, and he was just rocking crazy. He wore band ones. He wore geez, I'm Black Cement Force, Bread Force to some of you, White Cement threes, Concord 11s, like you name it. He was rocking so many Jordans before Adidas became the thing, and even in that time, we got the Yeezy sneaker that became famous through Nike and left Nike obviously on an incredible high. So this Aqua here is a piece of sneaker history. Now, I'm a sneakerhead. I've been a sneakerhead, I wouldn't say an influencer, but call it an enthusiast is the term I'd love to use, for a long time. And this, the Jordan 8, whether you like the Bugs Bunny, that is, whether you like the Aqua, whether you like the Playoff, this is the shoe that was part of the third championship, or the first three-peat in Jordan's career, where he won 3, retired, left the game for 2 years, came back during the end of the second year he was off. They lost to Orlando. Then he retooled, put on the Jordan 11, 12, 13 were championship shoes, threw on the 14 as the last shot for the second three-peat. So the Aqua has a special place in Jordan lore, but it may be the most underrated between that and the 7. Like, people just don't talk about this. We talk about the 6. People even talk more about the 10. And then the 11, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 1 all get crazy more shine. Geez, I think the 14 even gets more shine than this one. And, recently this year we got the Ferrari 14. So Aqua is a special shoe. But when we look at this shoe specifically, what it makes it different, we always like to do the standbys. And I looked at it at first glance and I was just like, I don't love it. This reminds me of the 2015, and it just had subtle nuances that were different. So if you notice this, in the midsole, there was some glitter. The 2025 took the glitter out. The 2015, the yellow in the shoe runs darker. And in both shoes, 2015 and the 2023, the gray is lighter. Now, it's getting lighter every single time. 2025 is lighter than 2015, which is lighter than 2007. 2007 looking is by far my favorite. And then but on the 2015, I definitely do like the strap. It seems like the embossed, and you can see it here. It's harder to see on this one because it's darker, and maybe it's just the lighting that I have. It's better as I put it closer to the light. The embossed 23 is like really pops on the 25th or the 2025 versus the 2015. I still think the darkness of the Nubuck on the 2007 is the best. The dark gray is by far my favorite. I even think the tongue is not over plush like I think that is on the 2015. And I think the 2025 comes close. So of the three, there's definitely nuances to it all. This is the one that I prefer, is the 2007, 100%. So I'm sure we'll see more eights over time. They're due for the bugs to come out again. We're definitely due for the playoff to come out again, though that's probably the one that's come out the most recently. But today is the day. Grab your Aquas. It is not a general release. It is not widely available to everyone in every place. So if this is a shoe that you're interested in, if this is a shoe that you need to have as part of your collection, like, I don't know if there is an 8 that is better than this. Yeah, and we can talk collabs, but I'm an old head. I like old shoes and I like original colorways. This is an original colorway from 93 as part of the third championship and first three-peat. I think you got to get a pair of Aquas. It's widely available through a variety of retail channels, but I looked early this morning. It was selling like hotcakes, particularly you need 10.5, 11, 12, 13. Will become hard to find. Limited in Canada through a variety of retailers. Foot Locker did not have a lot, and they were cooking them today. And Champs was literally almost all sold out amongst other retailers. So this is the Aqua 8. Piece of lore. Jordan went to work in this shoe. And I think this is maybe one that you got to have. You think of Jordan and his career, and just like think of just the accomplishments that he's had over time. This is one of the special moments that Jordan ever had in his career wearing this shoe. 3 in a row after finally getting over the hump from the Pistons and even the Celtics, and to a certain extent the Sixers. Think of just what he accomplished and what this really means in terms of the career that he had. I would tell you that this is, I wouldn't say the best, but he had so many accomplishments that in this year, and I just pulled it up to see what the things that he accomplished in this year wearing the Aquas. So this is the third consecutive championship, the three-peat. He led the league in scoring, 32.6, 6.7 rebounds, 5.5 assists. Selected to his 9th All-Star game. The Bulls won. He was the Finals MVP. Again, he was the scoring champ. He scored 35.1 in the playoffs. In the finals, 41 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 6.3 assists, all in that championship run. Like, we really talk about it. It doesn't get much better than this. Like, this is absolute a masterpiece in terms of putting in work. I don't know if you will have many players score 41 points in an NBA final. And when we talk about being the peak of the peak, this is the epitome of what is possible and what can be done in the three-peat. Like, it is unbelievable to hear that this is what he accomplished. In this particular, like, this was a game. This is a tough one too. If you remember, this one was against the Phoenix Suns. You saw it in The Last Dance. He talks about, hey, Dan Marley can guard you, and what happened? Jordan took this personally and it's like, oh hell no, he couldn't guard him. He can't guard him. This is a problem. Mike I'm just gonna have to light him up, and this is where also Mike led the league in scoring. The Bulls were so amazing, but the Suns were really good. They gave Charles Barkley the MVP that year, and Mike took it personally. This is also the famed series where Mike ultimately makes the play in game 6. Instead of maybe forcing a shot, passes to John Paxson wide open. That gives, he hits a three, Bulls go up 99-98, and ultimately it leads to them winning the title. Richard Dumas was in this series for Phoenix, so even like this, the purple in it reminds me this is the ultimately it culminates that they play Phoenix at the end of the year, and with think of the team that with Barkley and Marley and Kevin Johnson, they just come up a little short against Scotty and Horace Grant and obviously Michael Jordan. So amazing time and run. This is on the verge of Tony Kukoc joining the team. We still had Bill Cartwright and Stacey King, and I said John Pack, Will Perdue, Trent Tucker, Scott Williams, amongst others that were all on the team against this Danny Ainge team. Now we know Danny Ainge obviously went to the Celtics and did great things as a GM. Cedric Sabalas was on this team. The legend Tom Chambers, one of the most underrated players, was on this team. On top of big old Oliver Miller and Mark West as the big men. So Aqua 8s, special time. Salute. Got to get a pair if you didn't get this one as part of your collection. This is probably by far, in my opinion, not the countdown pack. No collab, no trophy room or anything like that. Like, you need a pair of probably Aqua playoffs, and then I would say Bugs is probably next, because that again had the spirit of Space Jam the movie. So Aqua 8, one you got to get. This is Sneaks Around the Life. We out.